Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
While this order is extended to May 15th, I am lifting some of the restrictions.
Governor Whitmer extends Michigan's stay-at-home order through the middle of May, though it does come with some big changes. Golfing, boating, shopping. We're breaking down what's allowed and what's not, effective immediately.
A new requirement, face coverings if you're in some public places. Dr. McGeorge has a look at the best fabrics to keep the virus away if you're making a mask at home.
Also, quite a show of support for the family of a 5-year-old who died from complications from the virus. We'll take you for the ride, honoring a life taken way too soon.
But we begin with the stay-at-home changes. The governor says today's announcement is the first step to getting Michigan's economy going again.
Comes as we saw an increase, though, of 1,300 cases in the state and 108 deaths. So that is now more than 36,000 confirmed cases in Michigan, with more than 3,000 Michiganders who've died. We will hear from the governor in just a moment, but first, let's look at the highlights of the order and what's now allowed. Businesses like lawn care and landscaping companies, they can reopen. So can stores that sell non-essential supplies, but that is curbside pickup and delivery only. Also, restrictions have been lifted on golf and boating.
Still not allowed to open restaurants for dine-in customers, bars, movie theaters, and gyms. There's a lot to unpack here. Our business editor Rod Maloney is live in Lansing with more on what has changed and what the governor is asking us all to do. Rod.
Yeah, Kimberly, you know, the governor starts out by saying, look, she wants, whether you're inside in a closed area or even outside, she wants you to wear a face covering, but she doesn't want you wearing an N95 or a medical mask because she says that needs to be saved for the medical people. What she wants you to do is take like a T-shirt or something else and make yourself a mask out of that. But here's one other thing. You're supposed to social distance pretty much everywhere. That should stay in place. And a store can not serve you if you're not following the rules.
The new executive order will now allow some workers who perform lower risk activities to go back on the job. We will consider this the preliminary stage of economic re-engagement.
So it's back to work and open for business for garden stores, nurseries, lawn care and landscaping operations. Pest control companies and big box stores can reopen those closed areas. Bicycle maintenance and repair shops can reopen. And here's an important part of the order. Retailers not selling necessary supplies can offer curbside pickup and delivery. Outdoor recreation is slowly returning as well, so maintenance workers and groundskeepers are allowed back on the job. And one you may not have heard about, moving or storage operations.
We will make informed decisions in the coming days about potential further economic re-engagement, but it depends on you. If we continue to see our numbers decline, we can responsibly consider additional steps we can take.
Finally, the governor's also opening up beloved Michigan activities, motorized boating, golfing with no carts, and perhaps most controversially to the governor, travel between residences. She's strongly discouraging it, though. She's also hinting at further loosening. Just
because this goes till May 15th doesn't mean that nothing else is going to happen between now and then. An incredible amount of work is being done. There will perhaps, hopefully, be some additional things that we can start to engage in a safe way with the proper protocols, but we are not at this point able to announce anything additional today.
Or you can call ahead and see if you can maybe stop by and get curbside service.
Yeah, we do apologize. We seem to be having some issues with Rod's signal there. But Rod did mention...
What, on this?
Yeah, exactly. We'll get back to Rod hopefully here a little bit. He did mention the other big announcement of the day, and that is that you must wear a face mask if you are out in some public areas. The governor's order specifically requiring everyone who can medically tolerate it to wear a covering over their nose and mouth in any enclosed public space. Governor says, in fact, a business can deny you service if you're not wearing one. CDC notes that babies and children under the age of 2 should not wear a mask, and that's, of course, because of the risk of choking or or strangulation or even suffocation. Dr. Frank George is here with new research on how to make a homemade mask more effective. Frank?
There are several options to choose from to construct a homemade mask. Researchers at the University of Chicago just published their study putting various fabrics to the test. They looked at how effectively each fabric filtered out aerosol particles similar in size to respiratory droplets. Their tests found a combination of fabrics was best. One layer of a tightly woven cotton sheet combined with 2 layers of chiffon actually filtered out the most aerosol particles, between 80 to 99% depending on the particle size. Now, substituting the chiffon with 2 layers of natural silk or flannel or using a cotton quilt with cotton polyester batting produced similar results. Researchers say that tightly woven fabrics like cotton, they act as a mechanical barrier to particles, and fabrics that hold a static charge like the chiffon help create an electrostatic barrier. Very important to note though, the researchers also found just a 1% gap in the masks reduced the filtering ability of all masks by half or more, so getting a tight fit definitely makes a difference. Now, another study from Northeastern University found putting an outer layer cut from a pair of pantyhose and wearing that over your mask actually improved the performance of all of the masks they tested. Basically, it helped create a tighter seal between the mask and the person's face. Now, some people have also suggested adding a coffee filter, part of a HEPA vacuum bag, or an air conditioning filter to a cotton mask. If you do that, you want to make sure that the filter does not contain fiberglass. And whatever method you choose, you need to be able to breathe well, and the mask should be comfortable enough that you actually wear it. The bottom line, while certain fabrics are better, any sort of face covering is helpful. So if all you have at home is an old t-shirt or bandana, that is better than nothing. Just make sure it fits close to your face. Back to you.
All right, Frank, and coming up at 6 o'clock, he'll be back and looking at whether you can rewear paper face masks, how often you should clean homemade masks, and the best way to do that as well. So make sure you're with us at 6. It has been such a tough road for businesses forced to close, and tonight, some hearing that they can start to make some money again. That's a relief.
Yeah, as Priya Mann shows us, they're taking precautions.
In about a week, the businesses that sell you flowers and the companies that do your landscaping will no longer be considered non-essential. As Governor Whitmer slowly begins to reopen the economy, some industries are getting ready for their peak season. Others are making up for lost time.
We're a month behind, so, we have to make the best of the time we have left this season.
Randy Mattice will be bringing back his workforce of 8 landscapers now that Governor Whitmer is easing restrictions.
I had a lot of customers calling me and asking me when we'll be out there. It's a very exciting Friday.
Mattice Landscaping services about 170 homes a week in Birmingham and Bloomfield. Governor Whitmer says strict guidelines must be followed to keep workers and homeowners safe.
They should have limited contact with clients. Workers should have the personal protection equipment that they need. Where they are using shared tools or machinery, extra sanitation efforts must be taken.
On Facebook, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Nick says it's a good start. We can't go back to normal all at once. Shirley writes she's glad landscapers can get to work. And Julian says nurseries need to be open, but with organized social distancing like grocery stores. No difference.
What we're trying to do is just make sure that our customers feel safe and can come get their flowers and vegetables and hanging baskets and patio pots the same way that they've done for 90 years.
Kevin Robson owns Robson's Greenhouse in Belleville. Their 42 greenhouses will look very different this year.
Our cash register stands already have the plexiglass up like you see in your local supermarkets. In terms of the 6-foot distancing, we're going to have signs all over our facility.
He's grateful they have a week to prepare before the new rules go into effect May 1st.
It's exciting that the governor has recognized that, hey, we got to get our flowers. Get out there and have your masks and your gloves, whatever you deem safe for yourself, and know that our facilities are ready to greet you with open arms.
I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Okay, Priya. Well, it has been one of the most heartbreaking stories to come out of this crisis locally. At the age of 5, little Skylar Herbert died from complications of the coronavirus.
And tonight there is an incredible show of support for her family from first responders. Our Jason Colthorpe live on Detroit's west side as this ride for Skylar gets underway. Jason.
Incredible is exactly right, Devin, because just look behind me. This is a group of first responders that have already stepped off kind of in almost parade fashion. I'm going to turn you around. Just look at how many more down West Outer Drive here on the west side are waiting to pay tribute to Skylar. And if you look up, Jake, just up a little bit, not just on the ground, in the air. First responders from all over. It would take me all day to tell you how many people are out here, but how about fire from Metro Airport, DTE Energy, just first responders you wouldn't expect to be out here. She touched so many lives, and if you take a look from Sky 4, you'll get a view of just how big this procession is. And in talking to people out here, and talking to her parents, Vonnie and Ebby. Vonnie is a Detroit police officer. Ebby is a Detroit fireman. And they've touched so many lives. Skylar was a part of each department from the moment she was born all the way out. And to put it mildly, there are a lot of aunts and uncles who are in this parade or in this kind of procession to honor Skylar today. And Vonnie talked about that a day after she passed away earlier this week, when she said she had her at 41 years old. Each department just rallied around, celebrated her, wanted her to visit. She was just in a firehouse, her dad's firehouse, a month ago. And it's just touched so many people. We're going to have much more on this coming up at 6 and at 11 o'clock. For now, we'll send it back to you guys.
Boy, so sweet to look at that stream, that long stream of cars behind you. All right, Jason.
Well, we're getting new information from the state about the number of coronavirus cases in nursing homes. There are more than 2,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in 331 nursing homes, which is about 2/3 of the state's facilities. In Wayne County, there are 785 confirmed cases of coronavirus. Moving over to Oakland County, there are 455 cases, and in Macomb County, 345 cases.
Much more ahead here on this Friday.
Let's go ahead and check in with Ben.
Hey, Kim and Devin, temperatures finally recovering to some nice numbers. We're still below average, so we're not going to get crazy warm, but we'll show you some very good news for the weekend next.
The Flint criminal investigation moving forward as we mark an important date in the history of the switch. A look back at the situation and also a look forward as the case continues.
They're essential, and Mayor Duggan wants to make sure they're safe. The change is being implemented for people who work at grocery stores. Alice.
Widespread criticism today over President Trump's comments about researching injecting disinfectant into the human body for a coronavirus treatment. I'm Alice Barr in Washington. Coming up, what President Trump is saying about those remarks today.